Hello and welcome to my channel. In today's video we are going to be going through the books that I read in February. February's been a bit of a chaotic month for me, with uni starting back up again full swing, my 21st happening, so let's get into the books that I read this month. I have currently read 7 books. I'm on my 8th book, but I have started 2 books, so technically this is my 9th book of the month, but I haven't finished the first one, so I've got 2 books on the go at once. But I will get into it and explain. Please ignore the fact that I have a bit of a sniffle. I have something coming along. You know when things are in the starting but you haven't fully got the cold yet? That's happening. Don't forget to grab yourself a beverage, whether that's coffee, tea, hot chocolate, squash. I call it squash, some people call it juice. I mean, you know what I mean. I've currently got a French vanilla coffee. Very excited for this. So let's get straight into the video. And if you do like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Tell me how many books you read this month by commenting down below. And don't forget to subscribe to this video. These books, by the way, aren't in any particular order of when I read them. I've just got them off my shelf and it is whatever order they're sitting next to me in. So, pre-warning. We'll start off with this book, which is Set on You by Amy Lee. This book is about a curvy fitness girl who is on social media sharing her love for fitness as well as the fact of self-love. And this book is about her finding herself and actually coming to terms with some trauma that's happened due to a past boyfriend with her, and this guy here who is a firefighter called Scott Riches, and this is Crystal, and Scott falls in love with Crystal for Crystal, and it's all about acceptance and social media and the harm that social media can do as well to somebody's mental health, which I think is really interesting coming from a social media background. Obviously I do social media, as you can tell, so it was a 3-star read for me. I really did enjoy it. It was a nice easy read. I have got X's and O's ready to read as well by her, which I'm very excited about, because that is about somebody who is on social media with books. This resonates quite a lot with me because me and my sister are both on social media. My sister is the older sister, like Crystal is in this situation, and we're both on social media, so it's really, really interesting coming from a background with 2 sisters on it. So I really did like this book. I would recommend for people to read this. I just love the aspect of a curvy girl as the main character, because I am a bit more on the curvier side than these other people who you read about in books. I like slim and stuff, and I'm just I don't resonate with them that much, but I really did resonate with her and the way that she looks at herself in her body. So that was really, really good. I would highly, highly recommend to read this. I believe this is £3 in the works in the UK. I also just want to mention my t-shirt after this thing, because I've just realised. I've got my Daniel Ricciardo t-shirt on, ready for the race season. That is happening. That book was about fitness and sports, so it's just reminded me that the race season is happening and I'm ready for it. If you're into F1, then you know what I'm on about. Kind of going on the way with F1. The next book is Final Offer by Lauren Asher. Lauren Asher wrote a series about F1, and it's mentioned in the first two books of this series, which is the Dreamland Billionaire series, but not in this one. Anyway, not the point. This is Final Offer, which is Cal's book, or Callihan Percival, who in F1 is Lord Percival. Can you comment it down below? If you know F1, you should know. Anyway, Kane. And Cal is obviously is the middle brother out of the Kanes, so it goes Declan, Kane, Rohan in age order. And in the first books, if you read them, in the first book they have to go and collect their letters from their granddad who has passed away, and each one has a task for them to do. So the first book is about Rowan, the second book is about Declan's task, and the third one, this one, is about Cal's. Now Cal has to go back to this lake house and sell it. That seems easy enough. But who's living there? Lana, with a child. So, bit of a shell shock for Cal when he walks in. Guess whose name is also on the deeds? Lana's. Who is Lana, may you ask? Cal's ex/ex best friend that he grew up with in this small little village, who he broke her heart due to addiction. And it's all about Cal dealing with his daddy issues and finding a self to love himself, finding the love to love Alana and her kid, and fighting the addiction that he's been dealing with ever since his accident, which was an accident due to being a professional sports player. And I fell in love with this. He was addicted to these prescription drugs that you can get in the US. I don't know if you can get them in UK. It's not very common, this kind of addiction in the UK world that I know of. And he's also addicted to alcohol, and he can't stop. Once he starts, he can't stop. He goes through this journey with her, and he is like, I need to do something for myself. So he goes and does that thing for himself, and it's brilliant. I read this, I stayed till 5 AM reading this. I fell in love with Cal. I already knew I was going to love Cal's book. Cal is one of my favourites in the other two books. I fell in love with Cal so much more, and this is my favourite book out of the Thai series. This is 5-star read. I stayed up all night reading it. I literally binge read this entire book from literally like 2 o'clock in the afternoon till 5 AM. I love it, and this was very kindly sent to me by Little Brown Publishing Company, so thank you very much for sending me this book, and I fell in love with it instantly. Coffee break. It needs more vanilla in it, like coffee, I think. Anyway, on to the next book. The next book is Sophie Light, There Are No Saints. I picked this up for my birthday when I was in Liverpool, pre to my birthday, because Liverpool have a very good new adult section. I mean, Sophie Light's books were there, so you can't say they don't. Anyway, this book is about Cole Blackwell, he's a serial killer artist, and yeah, he killed someone and then used their bones to create a sculpture, and I was like, yeah, 100 pages in, I fell in love. Sophie Light does something where you're like morally grey characters, you just fall in love with them instantly, and I fell in love with Cal. And Mariah, M-A-R-A, Mariah, that's how I would say it. I don't know if you guys say it anyway. She is an up-and-coming artist who is absolutely skint. Literally has worked 2 jobs, doesn't have a great life, but then she gets kidnapped by Cole's arch nemesis in the art world, as well as in the serial killer world, kidnaps her and leaves her for him. What happens next? Who knows? You'll have to read and find out. But them two fall in love. She falls in love with the serial killer and accepts him. And if a woman can accept a serial killer, why can't men do a little bit more? However, Cole does so much for her, and I fell in love with Cole. He has to be in control at all times though, and he learns to let loose with her. And I love this book so much. There's another one that goes straight on after, but these books are expensive. These books are £16. Yep, £16. Yeah. So your girl can't afford the next one yet, but when I can, I will be buying myself the next one, which is, I think it just follows along if I remember correctly. Yeah, if I remember correctly, it just follows along straight after this one, because it ends on a bit of a cliffhanger. I'm not gonna lie, I read this in 3 days, and the 3rd day I was like, I'm gonna get a bulk of it done, and I finished it. Also, a book that does this has my life. Oh my god. This is the page we open up to. Yes, there is illustrations, and yes, there is sexy illustrations in it. I mean, if a book doesn't want you to love it more, just add illustrations in, and it's beautiful. The next book I read was The Dare by Haigh Lorex. This is a little novella. I got some vintage. It's literally 150 pages with very, very, very long chapters. I said it was 2 AM reading this, and I was in love. Let me pre-warn, there is a kink in it, and the kink is, there is BDSM in it, there is kinks in it, there is a lot of sex in it, and I loved every second of it. So this popular girl, she always liked the weirdo, couldn't accept the fact that she liked the weirdo because of the fact that she was a popular girl, but she did in fact kiss the weirdo and fell in love with him when they were in high school. They're not in high school anymore, they're at a house party, and it's this popular person's house party. Who's there? Him. Who lives in the house? Him. So obviously he's gonna be there. And she's like, what's he doing here? Tries to ignore him. They play beer pong. the guy ramps up it up. One of the guys, not him, one of these other character people, and he goes, shot it or dare. If you dare, you don't have to shot, which means you don't lose. Now, if you do shot it, you lose more. You know what I mean? Like beer pong style. They're playing this game. He makes her lick his shoe, which he makes her give him his her underwear. She's in such a short skirt that she tips over. Everything is on show for everyone. And I mean, that personally, not my style, but I mean, reading it, I was like, ooh, okay, this is bringing these stairs up a bit, you know. Final one. You don't have to do it if you don't want to, he said, but you have to follow me around and do whatever I want you to do. I was dead. Dead on the floor. Dead on the floor when she did it. Oh my god, there's a scene in this. She crawls for him, and I was like dead on the floor. Dead. 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 And that night I ordered on my Kindle the next two, because this is the Novella to the Loser series. I bought part 1 and part 2 just so I can read it, and I was going to instantly read it. I haven't yet. I will get around to it, but my god, I was dead on the floor. Dead. Dead on the floor. I was like, I love this book so much. The next book I read, well, the first one of the month I read, but the next one on this list currently is Court of the Vampire Queen by Katie Robert. I have read one book by Katie Robert. This is my second one. The first one was Neon Gods. I've got the 3 in that series. I know there's a 4th one. I haven't bought it yet. Anyway, so I read this. Started off with straight smut. Middle section, straight smut. Third section, straight smut. Beautiful smut. Loved every second of the smut. The plot, yeah, the plot was not it. First bit, no plot, just smut. I was in love heaven. Literally the first chapter, you're like, smut already? Okay, yeah, we're getting into this. This is what I like. This is what I like. Part 2, bit of plot puts in. Part 3, purely plot. Didn't really like the plot. Loved the smut. Oh my god, it's a why choose. 3 vampires from 3 really big bloodlines, and her, just a Dompe. Well, she thinks she is. She's not. Can tell you that now. Oh my god. One in one end, one in the other, one in the mouth. Done. Done on the floor. Was in love. Needed. Yeah, I was in love with this. But I did not like the plot. I was just in love with the smut. So when the plot took over from the smut, I was like, nah, yeah. You know? So this book for me was, I can't remember if I gave it 3 stars or 4 stars, or was it 3.5? I'll probably say 3.5. Sorry about that. This illness is kicking me in the bum. Anyway, the last book that the second to last book I read, the last physical book that I've actually finished, was Bullied by Penelope Douglas. I love this book. I love anything Penelope Douglas writes, let's be honest. Halfway through this book, did I order the next 2, Rival and Fall Away? Absolutely I did. Did my friend also say to me that I can have Until You, which is basically this book from Jared's point of view when I see her in 2 weeks' time. It's literally like in a few days' time. Oh my god. Anyway, no fun. Yes, she did. So very excited. And this book is about Tate, and it's from Tate's point of view, and this boy called Jared. They were best friends growing up when she moved to the area after her mum died. Then for some reason, when they hit about 14, he was like, no, don't want to be friends with you. Bullies the crap out of her, and it starts off basically, he bullies her, and she's like, goes away to France for a year, comes back and's like, I ain't gonna take your shit. I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna take it anymore. So she is like, fuck you, and starts playing the game. Turns out, he's been in love with this entire time. He's just like, I'm in love with you. Until I'm completely in love with you. And basically, he bullies her to try and like push her away and make her hate him. But in fact, she was still absolutely in love with him. He's absolutely in love with her. It's beautiful. I love this. I cannot wait for the next 2, because it's not about them, it's about their friends, the next 2. But I love these 2 so much. And I have Fall Boy that I also bought for my birthday. That is about their children. So very, very excited. But I love Tate and Jared so much. It's like one of my favourite Penelope Douglas couples. I think my favourite couples by Penelope Douglas, obviously Misha and Ryan, then Michael and Rika, then these two. However, these two may even top Michael, you know? Drag Race is beautiful. Also, there's drag races in it. Drag races. You know, I could not get away with drag races. I love cars. I've really got into it recently. Just cars and racing in general, and motorbikes. So now we're on to the book that I read on my Kindle. This is my brand new Kindle. You will have an unboxing either before this or after this. There'll be an unboxing of it. These are my stickers. Obviously, Pierre and Ricardo, my two favourite drivers. Pierre is now my favourite driver on grid. Daniel is, of course, my favourite driver. And another bookish sticker. Anyway, on this Kindle, I have read Offside by Averly. Can't remember. It's the rules of the game, book 1. Offside. Loved it. 4 stars. Fell in love. It was a nice hockey romance. She basically starts dating the rival of her team, like the team that her brother is part of, and because she was originally dating the captain broke up with her on her birthday. Men don't do that, and he like sees her on a night out, falls in love with her, and it's their relationship and how they navigate that world of being at 2 different campuses, part of 2 different teams. And yeah, it's really good. Very easy reading. It was a very simple read. Bits of up and down, but not much up and down. It was very lovely. Was it my favourite ice hockey romance? No. Did I love Chase Carter though? Yes, I did. So now we're on to the 2 books that I am in the middle of reading. So the first one is Saving 6 by Chloe Walsh, and this is the 3rd one in the Boys of Tommen series. Sorry, there's an area close to me called Tommen. I am currently annotating it. So I was loving it, was annotating it, and I'm currently 126 pages in, but I had to put a stop to it just for a little bit. My mental health took a very big decline this month, which, you know, I'm getting back up because it's been my birthday. I'm going on high, but I feel like it's just going to drop again. It's due to uni, and due to a lot of things in my life currently happening, so, you know, it's fine. But we were annotating, and I think the annotations kind of killed me, but I really enjoyed annotating. But this book is very, how can I say this? It deals with a lot of, it deals with Joey's addiction, which we already know about, but it deals with it in more, deals with the abuse in a lot more than the first 2. It deals with, like, you're basically going through the years of Elfie and Joey, and you already know about them in the first 2, but you're going in a lot more detail of their relationship, and it kind of, my mental health couldn't cope with it, because I had friends that I was in an art school, so you can imagine the kind of people I was friends with took drugs and stuff, and yeah, the abuse, it just kind of, my mental health wasn't in a good place. Then this, I was reading this, and it kind of just went a bit further down due to the book, so I'm giving it a break. I'm going to carry on with it, but I am love annotating it. There are some really cute parts in it. Let me find this cute part, because it's really, really cute, and I love the fact, like, there's like a glossary, like a Bluey's a porno movie. Like, I just think it's hilarious. And like, there's this one line, and he goes, "I don't care if you're gay or not, lad. You can't deny that girl is the best looking thing your eyes have ever seen eyes on." And he's like, Joey's in love, and he's like in his first year of high school. It's really funny. But yeah, I really, really am enjoying this book. I just had to take a break. Had to take a major break on it. I haven't picked it up, and I started reading that. I think I got it on like a couple of days before Valentine's Day. So, you know, I had to stop that. Otherwise, I don't think I would have read anything else this month. If I would have carried on with it, it would have just killed me off. So I took a major break on it. But I will let you know once I finish reading it. And the book I'm currently reading is Haunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton. Is this probably the best book to read when I'm not okay? No. It's about a stalker. And I'm going to be home alone in the next couple of days. This is probably also not the best book to read when you're home alone because it's about a stalker. But I want Daddy's aid. What can I say? You know? I'm only 106. Oh no, I'm only 65 pages in. I've been reading it for a couple of days. I think a slump is hitting me because I know I've had a week off uni, and I think the fact that I know uni's coming up like tomorrow, it's kind of hit me in a bit of a jud because I'm like, I don't want to do it. But anyway, yeah, I'm reading this currently, and it's good. It's good. Not very far into it, so can't really say much on that. But yeah, these are the books I've read. So I've read 2, 4, 6. So I've read 7 books. I'm partway through 2. So yeah, that's my reading wrap up. Obviously there has been only one 5-star, and that was Final Offer. But please do let me know which books have been 5 stars for you this month, if there has been any. If you did like this video, please go on, give it a thumbs up, and I really hope you enjoy this video. And I'll see you guys next time in my next video. I've got some really fun videos coming up. One of them is an F1 haul because F1 season's starting this week. So Saturday, Sunday, because it's Friday. Yeah, it's Saturday, Sunday. What? Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna get going. But I will see you guys in my next video.